We'll end up with what? We'll end up with what?
This franchise.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, order.
We love this infrastructure.
Honorable Amin Salif.
I would like to thank the President, His Excellency, for the wonderful speech of the nation, of the State of the Nation address he has delivered on the 25th of the 2nd, 25th of February 2014. If you look at what was presented to us, is very much reflected on what the situation of the nation is at the moment. If you look at in the side of education, the president made mention of any development nation that do not take education serious is not worth emulating. In that case, the president has made education a priority.
I believe you mean any developing nation.
Yeah.
All right.
The president, in so doing, the president has made education a priority in this country.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader. Yes, Speaker. Please take your seat. It's up.
For that matter, we have seen tremendous improvement in the last 4 years, if not 5 years, in this country. Taking my own constituency, for instance, before the inception of the NDC government, previously, we were having almost every community was virtually under school of trees. Almost every community was virtually under school of trees.
The platform, Apramen ani apani Pompeiso. The platform, the Cardinal Nana Yaukesi. Sonchie asonsentwie aninsentwitwi a eko batako bramai sinukoso. Atwa petiaman temfi. Asansa krokotiako the platform sumie. Asisi nkonwa asisi adwa ama trankonwa trenufua. Bra Nana Yaukesi, the Cardinal tiedwam. Ewo Peace 104.3 FM so. The platform odoso puyo ade doso ensempudium amanyosam abrabomu nsam asetremu nsam ani amansa hodo so nsam ani se hodo bi ade a ani ne hia na ya kase the Cardinal wanina pamfo our the platform dwumadie so wo Peace 104.3 FM adwada ni ukwada nwumre biada efri no nwotwekopim nondu the platform wo Peace FM ensam wo asisie de aba de akro ani de yate ani de yehunu ni nyina ne ne wudi na apreto ani ne sombi na yensiai na banu so a emia the platform chire wadwene bi Ghana ya my Ghana.
Ghana ya sase batana ya mieshra no da wamanu niema penyi nala na wamanodo ya sase batana empe opu eji ahobu eni Nebi asubie inti asemana use yasum Ghana yiye anya sape da chinchirima eba bebo yemfo inia susumrebe pebi wabwa Ghana na Ghana beyo eyeyo ekwimi nwaro susumrebe pebi wabwa Ghana embassy B ebeche ye car
embassy bay
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Ambassador to Ghana.
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Kwakuja ye ni biasa.
Me na me wo hobby. Enye Ghana embassy to Brazil.
Ye ni biasa.
France embassy to Ghana.
Ambassador.
French ambassador. Me wo hobby.
Tie kwaku tie.
Omo report to ho no. Me kura ma send message akatro mo say enye sa na tie.
Kwaku tie kwaku e. Ya wo ambassador to but you need embassy to
ambassador to Ghana France embassy ambassador to Ghana
me pacho bo mo boys ni bi
Nana embassy B ebeche ye car
embassy bay
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Ambassador to Ghana.
Brazil embassy to Ghana.
Kwakuja ye ni biasa.
Me na me wo hobby. Enye Ghana embassy to Brazil.
Ye ni biasa.
France embassy to Ghana.
French ambassador.
Me wo hobby.
Tie kwaku tie.
Omo report to ho no. Me kura ma send message akatro mo say enye sa na tie.
Kwaku tie kwaku e. Ya wo ambassador to but you need embassy to
ambassador to Ghana France embassy ambassador to Ghana
me pacho bo mo boys ni bi for mamunyina Jo Sabre akasimedu no ngoche na abo nonkron ene eye ukuada Peace 104.3 FM so eni dwumadie ye fe no the platform afi na braso se ye the platform dwumadie ebrewo na mamunyina Jo ba bia wo a wote yenka bia wote yenka wa habati yenka Fela FM eno ewo Tamale Max FM ewo Enche ena afi Cruise FM ewo Akomadan Winners FM ewo Sehwi Esem Adwempa FM ewo Sehwi Akontomra Best FM ewo Bogoso Dynamite ewo Takwa ena Oja FM ewo Agona Enkwanta Rock FM ewo Takrade Beyond FM ewo Uti Mantemu Enkwanta ho na Uti Enkachimansa Radio ewo Achem Oda After 2 ewo Bichim Akonoba ewo Sunyane Feyoko amanone nso a Abawa Radio ewo UK Brainy Radio ewo Manchester Sunshine FM ewo Cologne Germany and afi Esukitwa Radio and so ewo USA any stations are aka ya ekura programming mu enanwumre a wotemenke ya frame na ya orchestra wetimi aframe the Cardinal Isaac Odro Patricia Sefa Fisher Emmanuel Atiemo Samuel Apia Prince Bafo Asamoah ena Elizabeth Jean omo na hihye ena medi ho chiame amunyina ajo edam asese nenso so modi afidi na to asese motie the platform na tene efri anopa mabom ho amane no ene de me amene me wofa ene wofa na wofa ase ntokwa wofa ase enkomo ha men kan sa wofa na wofa ase enkomo wofa bo ate ejako ena nwumre me ne no etwetwe enkomo ewo the platform dwumadie so na makọ ho atwea che afi na mta abrewa ipomakwam ti efi a efisa abreko de nyame ya adomo a anye bia abosumi bia ibenya ofa ka ma apreko Roma for say e was o kan bone ka ma apreko afi hia kro eti bia nyame dom yen a ka ma bosumi bia no ibenya ofa na yene no atwetwe nkomo ya efa Ghana ho oya manyuni so de kakra efa na manyo ku MPP ho so oba ye de no so ebe wo no na ye kono kakra sa na nwumre enkomo amene ofa eba abedie no enkomo a esese utie bi na ohun se yen ayesi akọ school yen ne ye professors yen ne ye doctors yen ne ye engineers yen ye nananom a wo mo anko school no hwan pa na wo enituade hu hwan na wo foresight o se enkran ewe ensuo pete menka se ensuo to epete pe na obi anso no gujam because kianeke ye beti se nipa ba gwu ensuo afa no ene ade ade na man kran be sa che se ensuo to kakra bi a na nkran nyina yiri unya ba bia emfa ya ba twetwe ho komo na nwumre na enno ada me hu statement bi a yese Burkina Faso omu bebie bagre no ye awurade asamaba Burkina Faso ka so omu bebie bagre pe na asamato yen saa na nkran tie nsuo muna obi mpa ye ne se awurade mema nsuo into because e to a e de ahokere beba den na ama ya ba bedu ba bi a ye duro ise nsuo petekra na nkran eyiri na bibi wo ho a ye betimi aye na nanom o mo chichire o mo nkran no o mo hu se nkran etesen saa bre na saase ne tesen ena na ko o mo susu ye ne se sen no mbe chichire nkran nkasa ena ye ko archives na ye ko yisa na ma ni nyina aba eti enkomo as wantie bia ebe ha me enya se wo ne be ha me se wantie saade ne bia mwa na ye nyina ya mfa nchichire Ghana saa nkomo yi ene ye bedi ena nwumre obe live for Facebook Peace 104.3 FM Peace 104.3 FM and YouTube so live despite media catch you nua say Torino atenase for batie dia kwa atenase ye bebo nkomo e de afa Ghana enkankro eho the platform dwumadie ni yo ebraso se afei de ye de enkomotwetwe no ehhehye so sanam kan no arabo kyerematen boache ejaako owaase na nwumre ofa ndi ofa na ye de ta afre no ai omo so a ene ne hye ebraso no fre no Torino chese ni nyina oka ojiso ofa majo
Over 7 Joso.
Now what you say?
Na me adaroma me ho ye pa.
But you for so mafel pa.
Over o ye prepreja. O dia wo se ka ma. Me so me kan cho se ka beba.
Ye de nyame ase.
Ka beba nya botre.
Say Roman for I say o ko ba guy say ese o kan bo ne ka ma apreko afi jiakro enti ka ma bosumi bia nya ba ko na
ebeba so
ye de nyame ase
why
yo offer ye de nyame ase
se mia na o kan na me hye o bonti me bo hye so die me disunti problem bia ni ho
mate ye da ase pa na fie ti sen
efie asomdwe nko a nyame ni ye didi ye papa ti fie die boko
I see. Now, new library no we. New library no we.
Sa library de me sure se bitimi awie.
Sa
o ye ni esum bi more enra obi send me message so will deliver 2000 titles volumes. And I'm saying I'm dey go here. Into what I've decided to do is be the Becher libraries more. Me feel the queen hosa.
Hey, over.
To me the Becher libraries more. They will find it more useful.
I see. Anyway, ya the nyame ase so de wa ba kan ho. Na o party mo design.
Say won't say ye go through the what I will call the evaluations. Yɛhwɛ yɛn ho ahwɛ sɛ mfie na mmerɛ kakra atwa mu no na yɛasetena mu wɔ party no ɛte sɛ nti every constituency constituency conference ɛhɔ ɛna wɔn bɛ evaluate party no wɔ constituency hɔ wɔn bɛbu wɔn ho akonta na yɛwie ɛno a ne yɛakɔ regional na afei yɛaba national conference na yɛwie national conference na afei yɛastarte deɛ mɛka no sɛ party reorganization.
Okay.
Party no deɛ mu nsɛm dɔɔso memfa nnaada ɛfɔmfoɔ no wɔn nsɛm dɔɔso paa wɔn ahia nsɛm dɔɔso kasa bebree wɔ party no na nyɛ sɛ boni ayɛ na mo wɔka n'ani bere so yaw party nkurɔfoɔ ku wɔn ho ankasa. I've been in the trenches with them for long. Nkurɔfoɔ ku wɔn ho ankasa na ɛnyɛ me sɛ wɔani daasoɔ ɛne wɔn nneɛma a wɔpɛ nka wɔsusu sɛ wɔn nsa bɛka no wɔn nsa aka nti amakasa abam ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtie deɛ ɛfɔm ɛka no mpanyin bu bebi sɛ mmerɛnkenso osi ne ti ase a ne ɛwɔ ne asase
aka akyerɛ no
ti mmerɛnkenso yɛnsi ɛtra se na yɛntie deɛ asase ɛka kyerɛ yɛgye ne saa party num ɛbɛdwo ama deɛ ɛsi ani so for the next 2024 no ɛtumi ama abem ɛho hia na yɛanyɛ ne saa sɛbe na yɛa ne yɛbɔ yɛn ho aboro party ne yɛwɔ yɛn hyehyɛeɛ yɛn susuɛ no ɛdi nhyehyɛeɛ bi akyi na yɛma no ba no saa yɛbɛhunu nsesaeɛ wɔ party mu ɛma grassroots nso ɔmo bɔ adwo call round several times. The issues are many. The issues are many. Look, MMDC appointments is say, I'm not a form why you deja because I disrupted the way party people know how to operate.
Okay.
So, say MMDC is almost hono. Omumraso, they are caretakers. Near maybe or omuntimi chro. Kro party for call almost swap. Hunu near woman can't warm. So no. Sautiwa tojo sautiwa. Enti ama a form hono kasano the way the party knows how to operate. Says unyo some more from one. Uni baby our day fa. Enti niema pi wo hwa e was so quickly ye toto. Ma party ni jina ni nansu ye na fe ye kun koye nim. So far dear mekano, but like I always tell people in this party, my party, right or wrong, I stand by you.
Na over den tumi na afono mu anase afoforo mu ana tumi na mo ahu che de asema over
no de nsam no dɔɔso na
dɔɔso ho
nyɛ ha ɛne yɛbɛka no ha yɛ kwan ho me party asɛm me de minim sɛ party asɛm de nka yɛ kanka yɛtwerɛ dodo mu ne yɛkɔka no enti me de bɛtwere ha na yɛyɛ conferences a lot of those matters will be dealt with. That is my hope. Na yentumi anka ne dem nsiesie na still e ma dede wo party no mu a ho na bia ene de e beka na bonten but yenka no ntokwa so se de tete party e wo se e ka no nyansem se ne e be ya ntiase e be koso aye adwuma.
I see. Ofa ma mo ancha party for chiawamo na fe.
Yo.
Ya mrankra.
Said the Monsieur de Biado. I'm said polling station for woman ye dying woman. Woman na e bura e fie ne nkrofo kasa. Mumoni adwuma. Say in spite of all the difficulties 2020 you put us through. Mechia electoral area coordinators, Machia constituency officers and regional officers. Conferences are ye. Michechia munina. Ma mo nye no ho. Mo waye ni. Na nsɛm a ɛwɔ sɛ pie ɛwɔ sɛ yɛka na ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtoto nyinara no party ma momyɛ ntoto na party no ɛnyina yie mɛkyia kɔzɛ ne Stephen Oduro no mu wɔ hafo akyire nso a menamfo a wɔn gu wa Vitus no mu ne Dare no nyinaa mekyia ne mo mfɛfoɔ nyinaa mekyia mo Lawrence wo Sikuma Michiao ena Zafa ne dom a omo wo Volta region omo so michechia wo nyina party for no doso Vida Nab no mu ne michia wo nyina mon koso enta mo party echi na munye dwumaden se de baya party no ebekoso agina ne nice
Ofa enya ye ni say de na chese yatie sikwan mu ankasa eno no enne ye to nsafre wa na say brani ni nkran komo na say wo obi a wakenkan enti omo abrofo iba ye ya babehwe ye nkran na nanu mo achichire wo mo nkran no na omo sesen esan se de ma hu kokko hia se ye behwe mo amo park nkan sa na ye mo akasa ne se bia na de ochichire ne nkran no o kan bibi hye ba bi na yeah, ebedi ache ni yehu ene ye nkranse na etie bi ene nkran etie enso petepe na nkran nyina enso afa ha nyina ofa
yo
boy nkomo
de ebedi kan ye misa se enso yirie ana flooding eye den edeba
okay
enye angonwasem bia ne etia ne se sensuo to piti pa ewo se enya ne kwan a efa kwabra nsu a eyiri a e speed ba no o da sani untimi stop untimi encross no se nsu eto eyiri saa either ewo se ememe kofom ana enya kwan a ebetwem se ye etime meme kofom na nya ne kwan twam a ede no yo saa monchimunkam na kopiepo enko so head kese bia na enkran se dia asase no eda ho eno na nka wo se ya dwene hu yi tetefo no de omo hu yo
omo hu
pa se
tetefo no mango school no
oh na school you see school chira book nyansa so no we dey make us as serious be me mama o chire the late Dr. Amwakotofo o chire na dey wo class 1 oni Joyce Ayinu nyina na we dey doc no na na ka chire me o see o pass common entrance ena ne maame nyini se kwame etumi ya pass sorry bi enti oba me maame na maame e teacher Asante New Town cheze one day no agidi oba me maame ho na o se message ako kwame se wa pass sohwe bi ne ho kratani ena ode maame me maame hwa so wa pass achimota o se kwame
ono an maame
o se kwame se wa yedai wapa debi odi esi oni mi ma mi twi ba afi obisa mi ma mi se na Auntie Jane enso hwe amose kwa mi apase no na fie nyansa ka ho na And a mom said, Debbie, you see, the try. School, as soon school, Nyansa, and if school, if you Nyansa. Look, before I get to the topography of Greater Accra, so what kind report Accra before colonial times, proceedings of a colloquium on early Accra. Accra before colonial times, proceedings of a colloquium on early Accra. Now report started from 1400 all the way through 1800, volume 1.
The report started with
the year 1400, 1400. 1400 to 1800. So, mekamun sam kakra. Great Accra nankasa dahono. A majority of Greater Accra are below sea level. Enti Uma baby a below sea level be asono. A honsem esono. Omo te Amsterdam, Holland. They are below sea level. In Tina, what dikes any walls are protective of. Accra e dahono. There were 7 drainage catchment areas. Na tetefono, tina nsuo ho. There are 2 major settlements. Ladoku Basin no. Ena Densu Basin. In Tinkranfon, Ayawaso Nipukwasi was their place. Titino. Nyampuanu nana womu spend your time. Ayawaso was their home. Nantuosha ensure insutinia ne wo omo titino. Ladoku die no ye dechido dowe ohudo fiakonya manahuna ena onupa wahe saa nsuoi ena ne deda ho a ni nyina actually ekobo dowe mu baby asisi dowe nya eko sakumo ene la loy lagoons ena densu basin so ho na densu no ni tree free etiwa mountains enti densu no wo so wo nsaki dobro onyasia densu nankasa eni odo na unfortunately yentimi project maps so habate be kanisa before the first time Greater and crime a flood here was 1958. 1958.
A year after independence.
A year after independence. There was a major flood. Na bisa who say Argentina before 58. Na and crime and flood. Na 58, the about 58, and now Guggisberg time no. Ensure to one crime kromo etata ho enyiri ti said ye hunu nansen. Enti na so wo hwa there are certain places in Accra colonial times and a dynasty is still to so. Ye Sipiles near Sidano was so said near Beya a dino enko block nsuo na aircon. Parts of Asylum Dam. Parts of Osu, Labadi side, no. You see stilts and you see dinos also. Send me a bear dinum co blockuns into nsuo top crane was set a year. Nafasi neko. Again, so we share Guggisberg development plans do more 1919 to 1929. Every oyibi ayimensa beponase de kofa otinibi
Otini bi no so wen.
Otini bi so wo ekyire ho ya. Na manom ne oyibi area ho nyina.
Okay.
Ekobo densu dum no. Na
Ofa ebia ye nim kran papa densu no da hen.
Densu no eno na ukọ Central Regional. Wager. Wager ye densu.
Okay.
So no. Wager ye densu. Into the western part no, of Greater Accra no, water catchment area ewo ho no ene ye frɛ ne Densu Basin.
Okay.
Na Densu Basin no nsuo ana rivers a joining Densu Basin no ene na medi kan eboboye no. Efri ho ayi mensa otini bia ekosi pokwase nom ne ene amasama num nyina no na under the 1919 to 1929 plans no na human habitation na insidan wo ho because it was a catchment area osha nsuo a eto wo Akuapem range no so no ene Etiwa mountains no ni nyina esane eba Accra enti so wo hwa ɛhɔ nyinaa no ɛyɛ prone to flooding enti na hɔ yɛ catchment area ɔmo dua certain types of plants nnua ɛne adeɛ hacho nkrafo bɛka kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ dua bi di
hacho no
hacho. That is how it originated. Yedua no it is a mangroves. Enti eno na trap nsuo na efri bepo no so no ba na slow no down. Because you see Accra ya flat o. Na wo ka Bagre. Bagre wo mu bia. By the time one ebedru Sabolugu, Fumbisi Valley, Wiaga, Chuchuligas, Sandema, na Abanasia Numinano. They are all flatlands. And ensure a taric and Ranibio.
Okay.
Etimitaria all the way to Salaga.
Oish.
Yes.
And you?
Because a whole Yinaya flat, Pacha. Yen dinum na yesa amano honso kakra. But from Tamale to Pacha, ni nyina ye flat. Ena ufri Tamale wo de ba south. Dato Yili all the way to Ntereso. Wipe na amano honso kakra. Enti nsua lands ye flat no. It is prone to serious flooding. Enti ni ensi. Ye maye ensi dan any idea or nan cranfo no de fishing season etwa mu a na ja omo akodo dodo wo mo vegetables ni wo mako ni ade kakra kwase broni dan na chia wo se yi yate esi ena wo hwe adan a ya pro egu bepo no ase without the necessary engineering to let the water flow no memeti ashoma se o nsuo topa na yiri a wontimi kofie
asoma people say
me count 9 ansa na obetwam kwa benya wo hu no free Medina roundabout no
atomic
road no etimi yiri a wonya baby fa why because odasani baby nsuo nam no ene esi a dying a block nsuo kayensi was still to say the colonial for no yen
okay of my mention has say ansana abrofo no beko no na etise na Accra tise
na Accra settlement no na woman no womo hwe bebia nipa tena ene nia yeye sintusha osha Accra nkasan eye isolated inselbergs and our little hills enti na wo ye gong no Korle gong no the hill of Korle Milicha gong no so Opera Square. The real name of Opera Square is Milicha gong no enti wote enkrankasa no mo can be big gong no. It means on a hill. That is where they settled. They did not settle in the flatlands. So no, omu ensinsio no kwan because omu hunu se di esitie. Ena omu nim source. Ayi mensa otinibi all the way through baby ene Dobro numina. They did not block the water. Yes, there is a river called Dobro.
Dobro gono.
No, ensure nankasa da ho no. E kroni din e from ensure no ensure your friend Dobro. And the Dobro no way. Ya sesa nua gumwa a reclaim DC dai. Uko wager Mango Lane. Mango Lane. Wager Pambro se chire ho no. Say ye de refuse e wura and e fili. Ye to sell landfill. Aton asase de esi dai.
Pambros ho no.
Pambro se chire ho ya. Yes, me makoshe. Because me namfo biti ho a na yede wura feeling ne pro a mpampanya eyi wo ho no ontimi ntra ofie na wusi nsuo no kwan a wo ka so de wo ho bechew sesi a wo hwe Hacho Road a making ya ohun say on the south side afei de nkrofo statistics dan bebre wo ho sa who cop towards the police station on your left.
On your left. That is so free.
Medina.
Yes,
on your left. Bisa almost engineering ben ya. Ebe prevent flooding. Ewo. Because and dying ni hono krano a flood. In short a topa e ho yiri. So no sa the free atomic energy hokono enoa na wure mu akopie odo eko join Odo River no ho nyina flood under normal circumstances and sesi a ya start sit down wo ho air to wall sesi kra wo be o mo to wall nsuo tope na wall da buagu ne asensi na nsuo ato na wall no asan buagu. And we have to be careful. And crime flooding, no, and yet magical. It was a young kasa, ya dream near Behu. First of all, the population pressure on Accra. Before Nkrumah time, not the whole country, the population is 6 million. And then crime kwa a year drew half of that population. And crime is over 3 million people. Secondly, Obroni Becker's a bad spatial planning. A hefan ni patina a ye. See a sinipa betina chantaya. A dear in the was ye. Ni in shebe engineering shebe. And the was ye said near Baya sanitation and the water flow enko hygiene. Then poor drainage systems. So no look, ensure na enya baby am far. E December. Drainage systems ben na won kran krom ha. Se ensure yiri pa e man ensure no chance modiko. We don't have any. Really, we don't. Ubehe nima honi ya some storm drains ye nwie. But for a city below sea level, we should have done what the Dutch Amsterdam for aye. Major drainage systems ma ensure echo. But you say ya nyune after the flood of 1958, President Nkrumah Momo ye started sa drainage systems, but he focused largely on Tema. And it was Sir William Howcrow and Partners, the consulting engineers. Omo na share ma ye shase, but omo enwie. And I have the Sir William Howcrow and Partners report.
1959.
1958.
What was our report?
Me was our report. And no, and a bar all the way into the construction of the harbour in Tema Township.
No, must say how crew. No, must say.
Sir Howcrow, no. They started work in Ghana concerned with the Akosombo Dam and the smelter.
Okay.
Say smelter no originally na it was said you could see almost in work bomb, not Tema. So the development was from Bomb all the way into Tema, the harbour. Now Sir William Howcrow and Partners, nominally consulting engineers. A chile crown a champon 1980s, no, almost side by agricultural schemes na central region here. Sir William Howcrow and Partners were part of it. In fact, many own year Juma under Kwampi in 1978, 79, 80. William Howcrow for who say Tema say after the flood, no, say if Tema is to survive and become the hub we were looking at, no, then you needed a clear central drainage system. In Subia a better yiri no. That is how Tema was built. Afei after Tema Diana anyi no almost 1968 Nkrumah 1968 the World Health Organization and the Ghana government under a UN Special Fund World Health Organization program Omukofa engineers, Israeli engineers, Tahal Consulting Engineers, in association with Engineering Science International Limited. They are from Tel Aviv. Our report is dated April 1968. And this is the title of the report. Design phase of the water supply and sewage works for the Accra metropolitan area. Buzi abaya no obesom. Sayen twaso. Sani ebeya Greater Accra. That time there wasn't Greater Accra. Accra Tema metropolitan. Ebenya underground central sewage system. You can say central sewage system. Ne no chese ni nyina ye integrated.
Tebe boano ho.
Enti baby storm ensure FBA ni nyina eboano efa underground channels into the sea. And say for instance water closet systems. Obian nyese efie bia on a manhole. There are central systems wo usi udane no are connected to. Abroches adete. Obia entum soka we are na manhole ni fie. Because there's a central system to say the Lavender Hill way. Not the whole of say Western Accra. Obia flash out toilet straight to Lavender Hill. No stop, no bend. But yet the efie bia etune die. So no. Na se efie bia etune dia. It creates its own problem. So all the high rises are yesi. They will tell you say almost every 3 weeks they have to empty their manholes. And this drainage system it is contributing to this problem. A year nanke was centralized storm underground storm systems. So no, they said ye unhu part woni me. Since you no free bipono so ba, it goes straight underground. So that it doesn't interfere with the alloidal, the surface. Again, poor building codes. Yaw, a dine bi wo wa. Esi ho no nim say a dan we nsu to a na from abo a de no ko. When the map permission, see the sa.
To si obi ehu.
Sa wo.
O si zo obi ehu.
Nsamafo na besi ye. Ye ni tua. Ya gani enso emfa ye ho. Ebinu wo ho mu si a no mo akoto paint no. Red paint no. No dia mark ho stop work. Show permit. Send ye bear inspectors ni twebo mo kura mo say we dey
ya bahadada.
That is also a problem. Again, a kwanya ye tete asase. Alloidal owner ana ohina na asase no. Ono otete o. Otete ni se bi osipe. Enti ansa na town planning bedru ho no na dan ni yesisi awie. Enti ohene no so instead so beka say had the nsuo fa enti minton mo bia ono pedisika
60,000 7,000 no mana ekwa
so no ana eha ye beyi kwan wo ha ana o si eja baabi a ye besi school ne hospital Dacian Cement so no there be yenye ne sa uko Canada omutimi ring fence a place say development shouldn't extend beyond this place. If you want more development, you go up. Because almost preserve asasi for Wunchirima. Yet there be. If you fly over Accra, at time.
Basa. Obiasi baby
opebia and the way they nimsha way they chi. So we shall be ponoso. Uchemu ha chuhonwa uhwe bipono so anadwa ubisa se dey na bae was say omo we have to have laws say omo alloidal owners omo asase no ansa na obey say otiti wasase aton no just a town planning more permission na town planning it develop a general site plan and yes I want to mean town asase no. Because you see, Ubeka say, it's my right. It's your right. Na wana ube yakwai. Enya wana ube yakwai. Wana ube map for electricity. Enya wana ube
nsio.
Wana ube map for nsio. Enya wana ube enti sa wa nyeni ya u say ubi ejuma. And I believe say it must be a law. Say uyo hene and now we are alloidal owner. Now asase dagomba ni bekasa who ha edawa ultimate tete asase no enton until town planning awie won adwuma. Look, abrofo nyeso omo nim nyansa sen but omo development nyina no ansa na obunsi sidan na ya yesa ne mani nyina what ye din suaba ye di connections to the underground systems aba ye the electricity bibia into usu dan you just connect ye de ye sit dan ni wie
ya behwehwe
ni abehwehwe so no me assure say ye this amre so look your sanitation
of ampacho me bout so more sanitation me try to wa me kai say you do sanitation me are interested in how crew omo adwuma na omo ye no what was their plan, their greater plan for Tema Accra Metropolis now can
it was supposed to be Tema no Ankasano. It was originally supposed to be at the Adan estuary. Temahabo. It was supposed to be at the Adan estuary. Nkruma kroya ne ehemfo ntokwa ne ade na oyifri Adan and a bad Tema. Now the idea of Tema was to become an Bruni Becker said entrepot, a best serve the rest of Africa as to say the say Dubai ports and Singapore and not even Istanbul. Shipping comes through.
Sure.
Now it was also part of the integrated aluminium project. So our integrated aluminium project and the dami. It started with an engineer called Kitson in 1919. But by after 58 floods, how crew getting involved in the planning, not just of underground, but the whole Tema Harbour complex linking to Akosombono. They also took cognizance of the fact to say proper drainage system for a city like Tema. Actually, can you imagine Tema completely flooded to say the Accra flooding?
Aye.
And Kaport Nukra may not be working. So William Howcrow, as consulting engineers, then introduced this underground system into the planning. So me were reports in Wofie, maybe be Jacob Isama no ejuma sronko wo mu ye. Eventually Tema developed some underground drainage systems and centralized drainage systems. They were not complete. Tahal consulting engineers, Israel for Ombetwaso.
Okay.
When they did their report, almost studies near Dinano, na Buzia take it over. So Buzia, in consultation with Tahal for any Dizengoff, then decided to say, yenye central sewage system for Accra, both for flooding and house waste. In fact, Legon campus has part of the underground construction. Legon campus. It has part of what Dizengov and Tahal started, trying to create an underground drainage system for Accra. Wofi Antoata Eda Buzi asu tu Edi Jai program to. But ye kwaye chia kofa enseshi. I think that it has come debia afibia na nkra yiri. Na nipa ewu ni ye bufaso ni ye dia yem hihie no. Eka ewo ho. Year by year by year by year. Say yes, wait, go back. Let us do Accra no. It's below sea level. Let us go and do these systems, underground sewage systems, underground drainage systems, storm drainage systems. Not going forward the next 20-30 years. Sa or how no yenti sumbio.
But offer me 2 questions. Mekra menye engineer menye hwe no. Me de manisha se yakase ye a storm drain sa. Ehin ye de be fan gran ya. Se ne ye se asisi ya dan. Se ne ye se ye niam asisi ye won kran hei. Baby I can say baby na say me kohwe ade bi ma obi wo baby. Na ekwan na ekose no bo se wonam kwan no so kwa no akopi obi fie kwan na pem no. Ana bi so mo say na eden na kwan ba na be wura obi fie won mo te akire ho na e na o say sa fie we a hu no wa ha no initially na ni ha na langas bi ne hu say ekwan no so e 50 feet e na dam kakraka na ba e no hu say oh sasa se kra yi twa etwi twa na bi a 70 by 70 it is a way 50 a in say ke be 50 by 50 and 50 by 100 na mfa mani pa no na ke sa tenten emusa atre e na oton ma no si e dan ni si ho e du kwa na okoduru a apem je se obi ya ono so to asase e dan chen no wagya ne de na kakra Udu anu ako ade afa ho. Ansa na watimi akọ. How do we do it, Ofa?
You see, Nana make earlier on spatial planning. Tete for the dear, omu ye sa nneɛma no nyinaa o. Hwɛ, wokɔ Asante New Town, Kumasi Asante New Town, to say. Emre Bido na me papa served on one of the boards for town planning. So wokɔ Ashtown, you're plotting on a grid, 80 by 80. Inti wohwɛ Abyss Park or I nom ni ade nyina who say adan ni sisi ho every 2 houses be a coin them.
What I mean what you can free Ashtown Court.
Yes.
And the best kwa himbobo ano.
Yes. Look, it was a wider area. Could see a room. Yet there was an ordinance a shishene sa. Enti now asa ordinance no ana nyansa na nimdie no e wo hodada. Indiscipline. E na amana bada sa. Na e was it look, ye bege dia. We should have to understand say it will involve demolition of certain places. Yeah, we can't run away from it. We can't. Of course, there's now engineering possibilities. They will tunnel underneath it.
Okay.
But why go? It's an expensive proposition. We have to remodify Accra. A lot of the structures are Accra. And they are in the wrong places. We have to decide, say, there has to be a new master plan for Accra. Henry Cote and yes, just keeping Accra clean. But because Accra is below sea level, and it falls in a heavy rain setting, we have to think differently. It will involve a basse. Ebinum fie ye be demolish ye be ye free ho send ye beya problems are yen no e be free ho. I think say it is better to remove 1 or 2 houses out of the causeway than have a whole area flood. So after Buzi Adi, Africa Development Bank Subemu, the Accra Sewage Improvement Project, ASIP, 2005, October 2007. Yeah, and also Konko, Ninina is because taking certain decisions. I was say, you Timmy, you're bold enough, say, you solutions to something. Every year, there must be an engineering and a human solution. Baby, a nipatino. Afana was a nipatino. You see, nature or no or the patterns in the Najino. Ubehe nasa si yantambi da baby. Ebia BBC at Torrentium BC and the 2 nipa nyina free ho. Sato Rencham no the next 300 years in CBO and now 400 years in C enti nema force o say you assassin da hokwa near 2 so na in the next 10 or 15 years near C 400 or 300 years ago na sense CBO na no abe problem into wo call first report I me boarding Accra before colonial times, proceedings of a colloquium on early Accra. Omu maki omu chire baby ni partner any baby ni partner. Because omu institutional memory say assembly si ha ana bibi koso ha nipa utna ha ed your how neba. Let me give you an example. almost see airport no almost G assassin tetre enti from Ponsadwasi minim so onim Ponsadwasi a saa sabi mensa ba dodwa kwan no so saa sabi mensa ba Ponsadwasi ni de ehye ma bepo na se ho or path bia from Ponsadwasi a hona plane ba e descending from the Equapian Mountains all the way into airports. No me and sit down no human occupation. Adentra. It sounds as a plane a descending no. Say nya problem. I was saying nya path. Safe path for crash landing are involved nipa. And it was so for a long time. Kwesi broni jaye hokoye osi atiesim oseye. And yes, from Sasabi Mensaba Noa through East Legon. Yede a dining idea ayaho mapi. So now, Nyamin Pangu, if there's a major aircraft disaster, yawe hefa no defa. Obechi afa nipa so. Nya na no ya na a plane bi ne
37 chen
207 ko crash 207 the aka ship out in the back crash na just the wie ka enti sa ne men and what say adwene ho say even if we made mistakes ya nhihye ye niema bi wie na ehwie gu a ye nsue nsi ho ne ensa hihye no foforo se ne be ya ye koye nim no sa ohawi enkoba se tetefo no from 1400 to 1800 share pa amfa sa ohaw na mrewe na yaw yeah yes ye name afo ya ko school ya kenkan ye nim ye timi hunu niema nyina no na che say ye nyansa ne ya de hunu ni nyina no na ye mana ye kwa
I was for Honorable Boache Ejako ena enumrei meneno etwetwe nkomo ewo the platform sui na nkomo aye twetwen eye Ghana enti ene etwetwe sankoboy nene no ye hyase de free and crime ensio pitikra na nkran eyiri de ne ma no ba sa ena ba bia ye durui edien ena ye beye eno ne asem no a mene Honorable Boache Ejako etwetwe ho nkomo na nwumre ewo the platform dwumadie yi esui na mo adwenche na mo de ba ni nyina mepamcho ye be kenkan ni nyina ede amamo ye de ni nyina be mamo maako na nkomo no ayeme denti ya na me twamu abisa asem no a na yeme ya bato da mo nkoso mfa mo adwenche ne ade no emra mo a mo hwe yi nyina mfa no bebia mo hwe fi ye da mo nyina ase se mo nya daje ede ehwe yen ofa say ye nim problem no mame mfa no maako because eniema wabobo so ne doso ye mfa ne say central sewage system senia yes ya akrase sie say ye ka say ye go back na ya ko ye be ne say
enu engineers any land use experts omubitimi amapo the whole of Greater Accra. You see, Greater Accra and Kasana, it was 7 spines. Baby, insure a yirifa. If you clear the spines, you have cleared a big part of the problem. But me engineer, me wo school na me science no enche dan kan papa. Enti Mr. Johnson no ne omo mama nye science no community me kribia we have sufficient engineers in my niema making kind nyina no me hu say Ghana for engineers atro niema bebre me kan as a layman kra me hu say ade nyansa biwo Into your technical expertise, no ha. It is left with the political will.
As a unim, because I mean next question can be sound say. Ye who problem no. Ye nim diama ya bedu baby a yedri. Do we have that will to say? And now yeah, I need a regional minister because any traban mount do ya yen to mobile. Ye was haku kudrono. Pa say ye nyak before baka say memfa ho. Me twa 4 years kwa number 2 tell the moon to me na menko. Me de binim say dem be my any. Do we have that will? Can we do it?
We should. Not that whether we have it or not is one matter. But we should. Because to continue doing the same thing over and over again, don't expect different results. Sebi. Say you can say bibi ye perennial. A de or how ebre yen ni o my money timemufo. Na ye say ye nya ho hwe a. Sebi na ya dan jimfo. So no. Ye nanka once a while be then ye cost benefiter na wo hwe ni. But we dey almost every year. We are in trouble. Circle any petrol station be a ejatomi. It was all
the commercial bank down.
Yeah, it was all we must develop the will and the courage. First, I was say engineering solution. A day na engineers, a very recommended. Sabaya tunneling, sabaya demolition, sabaya day. We have to get a plan first. Get na wunya plan no a untimi mohu enti de e wa say aban bia na aban otiso na aban obebe bia ne ye ne say let us have a plan and let us cost this plan and say ya nya ehun sunsanso ni ye yeso asubudua e de bebreye ni timamufo ye nyina ya adwene nko bankrupt sabe nipa ne ye ni omu deal no ye ni won kasa yi a ye betimi anya pene there have been construction projects ye demolish. This will not be the first time. Enye na agbogloshi yetui nana ya onye sa agbogloshi ye dan no from 91 in some konkomba na number 1 sem si sremu a sremfo ba ye nom ni ade ye de bayirefo ko kan wo hu ani ade agbogloshi yetu who say there was a high court case. Emma lawyers be represented agbogloshi for I think in 93 or so. Emma omulusi from 93 94 yebetumu finally it's been done. But this one is urgent. This one is a matter of urgency. Now make send you in 1932, normally boat races regatta on the Korle Lagoon. That is how clear Korle Lagoon was. You call boat races also. 1932. Made the picture number. Made the
any
advert, no.
I say Saturday, 26th November 1932, under the distinguished patronage of His Excellency Geoffrey Alexander Stafford Northcote, Yakas, patrons, baby, and Wakika can have their baby says. Organized, hey, sir.
Yes.
1932.
The Korle Lagoon was so clear and clean. Near boat races also.
La Korle we are here.
Me count nine. And here they say Bibi di jaye biano etete pansa. We are not able to move anything forward. 1932.
Adiana high.
Indiscipline.
Of a church,
discipline, we are disciplined. Utia said, near me be oha. So obi hwe so obi hwe
Onye.
wan kasa wadwene mu pɔ ne wo tiri mu boa kyerɛ sɛ menye sɛgye obi hwe ansa na waya ana abada wo to no wachi ansa na waya wonye disciplined. So no a disciplined mind kyerɛ sɛ adeɛ ya emre ya hye eni sɛ mibu so nti memu so. So no ana adeɛ yi minim sɛ me ya ɛde ɔhaw bi bɛba enti menye. We have lost all of that. We have lost all our values. So no enti akoba ne sɛ di ebesi obi atrim bia no ɔyɛ enti sɛ mehwie me ball agu ɛkwan ho sɛ meyɛ den sɛ meyɛ de ɛmfa no. Apart from indiscipline no laws and their enforcement abɛyɛ problem. Yesu sa Asante Newtown o pre ye nkoda ne ye nyina pre fie ama nsuo nom ne ya abaduru nom nyina ye nyina pie pre fie ne apra ba gota no ho na gota no umpra ngumu osa na nopa no waso akọ bola so akoko nsuro station ho right behind the post office ne de nyina akogu ho adenti na gota no ho ne ye mpra ngu gota no because ye chiwa Juma wa wofo ne mpanyimfo wo mpotem omu de bediw no enya ode. So we have lost our sense of values, any discipline ayeni no enti ema bebre atochima. And so we bisa me that is what accounts for a lot of these problems. Na yeden anka 1932 Kole Lagoon eni nyan yako race waso nenne hedi esi
asɛm ne sɛ tetefoɔ no hu saa nneɛma wei nyinaa hu sɛ nkran no sɛbe baabi a nipa tena ɛbɛyie no nhyɛ da nnɔɔso saa anaasɛ ɛbɛtumi atena koraa gye sɛ ɛka bam paa ne ade a ɛde ne yɛde ha yɛ yɛn capital.
The capital was in Cape Coast. Neteti dino Cabo Corso was in Cape Coast. In Sensem Bintina colonial government, Eyiba Accra. That is an accident of history. It is the same accident of history. Enna in the Northern Territories, British ni capital of the Northern Territories, Efri Gambaga, Edeba Tamale. Tamale was a sleeping village, Tamahale. So no, let us forget those accidents of history. We are in it now. What must we do? Here, Uko Bermuda, the island of Bermuda. Omunim said Bermuda cannot hold more than 60,000 people. So they control in and out. They keep their the population on the island to around 56, 58,000 maximum. They are laws. So no. Enti sen kran ye decide say say enan kran ti enti say ene wo say ye no e wo say nka then no ye emrash share ni in sasitoni ade nyina should have taken care of that, but ya anye. We are in the mess now. We are in the mess now. Enti there are certain actions we need to take. The sanitation problem in Accra, because a lot of the flooding ebano yehungura any yenkukune nkaka yetugu abontine any gatebono is part of this problem. So waste disposal, household waste disposal, we must look at how we do it, from a fear all the way to the recycling plant. If fear you're generating, we have to find a better way of doing it. Etosubio. This ensure beto. And son ye near break ye tigotem ye say. So no. En suto breni nru ye krano. Drainage maintenance, I will say here. It has to be a year-round activity. Yen to be chema ensure no nanim mre ase. And sana yakope nkrofo a wo mo tigatem. Bakwa maka dada. Redesigning a centralized system, a drainage system. Media mejidi say situation be anywhere. Any solution. Me kaisa me papa de bia no catch also boachi. For every problem, there is a solution. If there is no solution, then there was no problem to begin with. Again, there was a philosopher called Professor Alfred North Whitehead. This is what he had to say. Everything you see is the construct of the human mind. Bibia unhubiano, nipa adwene na adwene ho na create. So the human mind is capable of solving every problem you see.
Okay.
So no, I was say you to your boss. And like Professor North Whitehead said, no, young fire adwene ko problems home. And because we are creating Nyankopon or boy, no, or my obia or man be creative intellect. Adwena ye de boniema. Nyankopon de cheye nyina o. Enti yamfa ya adwene enko niema edi ye dem no ho. Niempe anokwan. Accra flooding ne de enhyeda nye bibia ehu saa.
Obanyehu.
Debio. The solution na maker. Event na ehu. But the solution enyehu saa because ebinimu ye bi dada. Look, the whole of the Netherlands, below sea. In fact, that is why their original names were the Low Countries. Belgium, Benelux, the Netherlands. They used to be called the Low Countries. Below sea level. Flooding. Why? Because engineering solutions. Oko Baton Rouge. America, Alabama, Nomnia, there. A lot of their places are below sea level. But they have systems, engineering systems, making sure, say, a punu nyiri womo. Now, a few years ago, there was one failure. That failure inundated a whole lot of places. A buyer or they've built a better system. Enti ebinu aye nya fe na ye koda yesum yesu adwene ho se na we be ni den. The solutions are there. So wo hwe Tahal na wo hwe ASIP report ni idea.
ASIP read one kan ho asema.
Oh me kan Accra sewage improvement system.
Okay.
To October 2005.
1400 to 8
There be 1400 ni de a colloquium. Omo enona womo discuss
Torino
womo discuss Accra ni Bobia Bebia better into Accra their main settlements were Ladoku and Ayawaso because omo terrain city yentina baby by heart and na se nkranfo no originally almost na baby a na ye gong no so call it gong no milicha gong no eso na won tratra ye de ya tiesim ye mfa boga nye swan ene ya tiesim so there has to be corrections but say no media madwene kire me say engineering solutions a ebinom aya aboa wo no yesu yen fa yan nkyira ho ena yankasa yesu ne ye ban waste disposal ya nya hu bibia na ye underground drainage systems kwabrani bepe kwan bi edi ni wura akogu storm drains, underground storm drains.
Oh yeah, sure.
So no, even though
especially as it's open drains,
most of underground drainage is open. Hunu krase bibi wo ho.
Okay.
Bakwabrane.
Obepe hu.
System bi a mimi hu wo US. Omo underground drainage systems. Omo bibi te say baskets. Trapping baskets.
Collecting sir.
Omo friend no mirefi engineers ni din na the man. A basket a wood drainage enum. Enti every 2 or 3 months. Omo ba ni be inspected. Ni yi basket no sa trapo.
If you know
ni ye free. So even on the Akosombo Dam. I didn't know if ensure a free a stream urban white and red volta eni ko emu wura ni ade nyina adenti na ebedru agina bebia dam holding eyinwa eni wine they trap because ultimate ma efi enkofa turbine no
eba lock no cry
ebe destroy the cry. So they trap and filter many times to take all of those things out. So, enya fat turbines no na eba bomb step down. Ne be pie wo Atimpoku. From Atimpoku all the way through Sogakope to Adan Sogakope into the sea. No, who they shensio nani why? Waste management, waste disposal. Say yentimi anya ho hwe kwabran odi ye underground
said
odi ye said kwabrane ebefa kwan bi so edi wura akogo enti waste money waste management no so e wo se ani kom yen yesu sa no ye ka se tankers ba
Obeho angry.
Me hu yira wo se enakua no.
Allah.
Enakua ni manfo wa no ne maadwa no. Se ye gu yesu we ni. Ni ye twitwi, ni ye shan ha, ni ye kusiesie pipe no. What happened to us? It made me feel say apart from engineering solution, one of the ways we have to tackle this matter is think through waste disposal from household to the end point, which is recycling. And the bio emra ye dishishe ye niama no. Asi ato na JJ mu. Obi atimi ye diope. Here Accra ha, about 70% of people do not have title to their homes
at all.
Eba say. Because some brand ye niso. Ena asasi wura no so no. Oton se waton.
But ofa, ade ya na me me yi kakra ne se. So ofa uti hui. Ya de ship house ya she onsa se aha. District assembly or catchment area ni. Una o ye MC, una o hwe hase. O time country for hwe wase. Okay. Yes, so obi si dan no ni permitter emma ne kwan emma ne nsi ya fa nipa omo adwuma ne se omo be call rounds
yes
ahwe saa de no ye tua omo ka boso mi bia ba bia ni si esi dan no ye si ba bia ni si ye develop no ye develop sankofo e wo ho omo nkomma emeka se dan we yabu no ya ama ne kwan ama na anye boso me so a na ya san tamsika de akwa tua omo ka ade asema
say loss of values, lack of discipline. No nokorɛ so no ɔno ɔte municipal assembly hɔ no anaa district assembly hɔ ɔno kakra ɔbɛgye agu no bottom ne hia no so no ɛna ne report bi nkɔe ɛma ne boss ɔyɛ regional minister ɛmpanish no
okay
so no ne boss ɛmpanish no nti holding people accountable at different levels contributes to what goes on down there.
Okay.
Military for more saying be almost say the punishment, the public execution of one is instruction to the battalion, the 1,000. So obedience some fool in the military and he is publicly punished. It serves as instruction to the whole battalion. Nipa no yenya papa saa. So no. A free time when Yankopon boy ya Satan didn't sa kan nipa no. Yenya papa bi.
Nipa mpensha
so no. Enti se wanya mra ehye nipa. Ana ebema nipa ho akire no a obekwa ho akire bi mu a onye the right thing. Nkrofo can say wo ko tra Bank of New York na say nam say sika efa me nsem wo Bank of New York no. On every Tuesday a treasury US Treasury day no. We balance the Bank of New York, we balance about $1 trillion. Yeni Chase pen yes adwuma no. We balance about 1 trillion. Chase will balance about 1.8 trillion. Na madam na say we dey encounter to me wa ho because trillion dey ne kan ye dey
yeah obaka be wi na
enam sisa na ye wo
odu group
enam sisa na ye wo o balance here by 4 o'clock now the system not picking up all the balances. 4:15 you are allowed to make changes. 4:30 you report to the Fed. Or report to the Fed bang where you allocate within 1 minute. The system will catch all be raising red flags of Niema Anko Yegina. And within 15 minutes, compliance eguso. Enti between 4:30 and 4:45 no, we bibi ayacho. Umpo edwuma kra no akofi. Na sa system ni wa kakro no e babo yesi bi ni. Se pa se ubokro no bi agi se 2 years later and san na auditor general report
on me mana ga outing
masa na ma to island bi kura
what to Ghana nyina kura.
So no, the thing is that mete ho no minim se system bi wo ho a
check me
check me say within 15 minutes udin some fun bia uto adaho. So no, and it keeps you straight and narrow. And was say ya mra e wo krom hanso, you should be able to catch certain things very quickly. And punishment until wo sorti assembly ho na onu ji kakra gu no bottom ema wawie kakra gu no bottom ema nkrofo ye ne wo pa na obia anka no hwea adenti na nkoso a land registration system ye koji hu scab ekusi say because yankasa ya block no. This is land registration plan program. This is second phase yentimi
aden
because vested interest omo didi hu eje hu wawie ema ne nyadwuma. Ghana a problem new vested interest. Obi nimpa se ade we ye ya ebeboa o man no enso kakra wo tafre free hu nti no masa o ma no nkwani mu da ye wo school ye sua bibia se Higgs-Skitowski equation ninchira se nyina ne se opese wo ye bibia you are going to meet vested interests and they'll put up their resistance. What are you willing to compensate them? This is called the compensation equation. What are you willing to compensate them with? Send ye beya omu be ma kwan na wa fam no aye ne so ye. Maybe that's that's one way of dealing with some of these problems. Admitting, say, vested interests have taken hold of the system and have corrupted the system. And therefore, what are we willing to do to get them out of the way? So no. But our system be our compensation rule be because say any seminya way dia any minye way mo na omunye near wom be. That is something we have to sit down as leaders of this country and think through.
Okay.
The Hicks-Christopherson compensation rule, how to apply it to our situation. And yes, sir, there be a force, any idea no, and we don't even have the supervisory capacity to get some of these things properly done. And
about him talking of supervisory capacity, no. Sa Operation Galam Stopper, I can't say. So you for almost stop Galam. You are done for Penny Parker squad, no. On daily basis, Menana Casa. I say, a betche. Ye be mumbate betche. Say, almost so ya for Nankasan cra or Mokon. Omunim se bia ye free hase ya. Ye ko ebia Kaukudi. Squad na eko no be catch galamse for na Kaukudi what say. Chale ye bawo. Enti twone ma nyina free.
Na we na e I have made the argument before. Say a krobia illegal mining a bemuno. They end up in a civil war. Let me give you examples. Kolwezi, Zambia, Shaba province. Say umubekaya Yesusano na utidimbi Joseph Kasabuvu Moise Chombe. And a Patrice Lumumba. Joseph Kasabuvu, ne section of Congo, no, was controlled by Belgium Numere. One illegal mining na no yes small. And no and Kasabuvu, a man or yes or tin. That is how the war started in Congo. Called Sierra Leone, General Momo, Wadan who kingpin of diamond smuggling. Nyano na Captain Strasser, Eddie Betuno. Liberia. Enti sa ekono ya kone nibreso. Yankona hongno so. And you don't suppose to say within 1 or 2 years ubetimi defeat is our vested interest. It's not possible to defeat them because we almost reactors at the end international enterprise. International enterprise, and you'll be surprised that there are even foreign governments are almost actually because we be free. So no, and it's a war called there. She shall and say for the next 10 years we are going to wage this battle and the country near the Kaipa. It was said oh my say no more ready say there are consequences. Yes sir you kum nipa mienu hey there be any munyai. That is how America lost Vietnam. America forces so dream say oh call war because of all the sophisticated equipment. Nipa di edi se biwu. So when Americans see their troops being killed and shown on TV, no more give up. Debi nipa kum nipa nu wududo. That is how they lost Vietnam. when and no pay. The French in 1956-58, when they lost Dien Bien Phu in Vietnam, they gave up. And America for share woman. America so called Tet Offensive. Once they were defeated on the Tet Offensive, General Westmoreland numina a trial mudi yinano na bededi. Yen say yan sinkiti and see a book. Say o mining yinano ye tie a bainachi. Say near baya nsuo ni adia e say no. Ye best stop wa. E bedru baby no okun no mu ye dimpe. Because all mom yes I did nipa kum yon dion. And you have to meet them with sufficient or overwhelming force. And this when you're ready, don't think say ubetimi a defeat on that easily. Second point I want to make. Soldiers see training almost differently. Enti what the soldiers kofra sikapemuni businesses near there. You've lost it. And very soon, you will corrupt your army. I'll give you the example of Brazil. Before Cardoso became president, he turned the Brazilian army literally into a business empire. Almost businesses are to say state enterprises are almost running. Na soja nia onu osenka odewurem baby ebo mine ho ban no. Afa dia wo kanska. Ebede nani abre edwum ekon a wo so okon. So when President Cardoso took over, the Brazilian army had been thoroughly corrupted. It took courage to withdraw them from business. Zaire, Mobutu, he turned the army into a business enterprise, diamond smuggling. And then now onu anya DR Congo say to this day, more problems. So, introducing the army into these money-making enterprises, and also what I said, because in soldier, you know, or any power, or she uniform, no, he's trained, he's disciplined, but there are temptations. Uka said, "Didn't you know America call Lebanon? You pray Lebanon." Kakro benyaba said the beya on retire no abon sisi wo baby. Na we nya Lebanon anko. Na mo si onko galam stop. Na obi the envelope $10,000 bi beto no ha. Esen so call Lebanon. Information kakro obementi. Obeka kire ka okufudi for say he benti. Na ne ya pia $10,000 amano. Wo se onye. So the problem of exposure is also there. But I was saying ni brese sa akun we say e kondia. It's a long war. And it's going to I was saying consistent over a long period of time. But me sure say I may be wrong. But me sure say Ghana for ye see a book pa say yensu esuwa ene ne ekono. Yabekwaji. Me sure say Ghana for already. Because you see, Utobi say, yes, so your economic benefit, a dear Juman ye sir. Now who says you know so I have a right to clean drinking water, yes, sir. Who say oh Jimmy dear free me, but me dear mean to me Jimmy Udi influence. So no. It muddying the waters is not a right from Titi. From Titi. You're too gold. In fact, and now will be bring me picture B of gold mines in Adansi area, 16 something, I think 1650. Our more bo a shaft near dear or more your mujuma. Near Nejuma won't see you. champagne buy China for the champagne buy and idea na escalate so no but for Ghanaians some Ghanaians to even accept to say as if omo to galamsey say you know have a certain right no it tells you say our minds are not ready to protect our natural environment. One way is to get that message out there. Ma omu who say, "Sansu aye bohu biye kahwa se bohu bain." And so here, look, say, uko a dance area wa, kodani p are born with deformities. A lot of them, cyanide, pollution. Near numsio no a pimfo no numsio no ko mu. Na say nkodano eno de enye cost en hayen ebedru baabi no na saafo nkodano saafo no mo ados na omo hwe abeya asem intimesre Ghana fo adwuma ye de ahye sojafo nsa no enye adwuma ketwa they will fall to their temptations but yen nyina ye sori gina pempens one na kro say adie we ye be back me aya menye sure say kebe densa
honorable Boache Ejakon ena mene no atwetwe nkomo yi ye be fri nkomo na se meka se menya ya anka ka ma apreko afeja kro osinya minti obeba mafere enti amaze zi ade mene woni mene matiefo ya pam se at least busumi bi ebenya baako
se me kra me no kan we me
pese
me gumen mu ase
me pese matiefo no me shada pre utum no mo hu se
om the pressure
no to se busumi bi ababa baako I found him text messages say wa hadoso me WhatsApp messages say wa hadoso omo hwe Facebook a omo akere omo adwen nyina doso but me hu message baako a me pese me kan na gina ho ma obi a ohwe yen de otimi tie ye de went me antworo no so nyaaye ananka one ofa ebe kasa ne ade na ni nyina obi ase a friend of Desi Owusu
Desi
also one of my lecturers once said it is suicidal to be honest in a dishonest society.
It is no correct. You see, it goes back to the question of vested interest. Vested interest omu protect bibi. Se enye no kre asem ana enye legal niema no omu protect ya. They'll kill you. Let me give you a classic example. Jesus Christ. No cry all can. Nanya vested the established vested interest. Nanya one day. The Pharisees and the Sadducees. Na or say or the anu gu on garimpa because niema na omo kire no niema omo kire didi ho no nanya correct. In fact, I'm in the middle of reading. I'm in the middle of reading an exposition on Sa questioning. So, a simple rule of the Sabbath, thou shalt honor the Sabbath day. It generated about 40-50 rules, sub-rules. In
fact, in one book I who cried, they say it generated 990 questions and rules.
There are 613 rules arising out of the Shema.
Just honor the Sabbath.
Yes. So no. Christ buy no. In someone not all can not expose the rabbis, the Sanhedrin, and the Pharisees.
Sadducees and Pharisees.
They ganged up to kill him. So if you look in Acts, time when you did Paul, Felix, you didn't come out Felix. Ne wafa say Paul wafa say as someone okopie so encrophobi abapam sagisi kun Paul. na nti ɔmo kɔka sɛ ɔmo de ɔmo mfa no man no na ɔmo ambush no ku ama Paul wɔ fa ase ɛna kɔti ho kyerɛ governor Felix adentra because no kure bi a Paul eka Paul don't forget that Paul was a Pharisee. Paul was one of the best brains in amongst the Pharisees. What turning who expose bad teachings. So no, enti sa wo ye ba konfo adna wo dem fua. O ka no kra dodo no enyintum dodo no ka no kra no. No adane tamfo. O say wo mniam e wo sie you free ho. Enya de foforo nya sam foforo.
Of in fact, side we ntina in Galatians chapter 4 verse 16. Paul bisa o say, "To no kwasema me ka kire munti, madane motamfo an."
Sir, it's a human nature. Because nipa no aye nam ho no. Ya pedie bi e take control of us. Huh? Ya pedie bi e take control of us. E dan ye so bosom. Enti se pa se obegyae ma obi abeka bibi foforo approve se saa ade a oye no enye nokre nye saa netie no opini da. So no, and a cry to me, there are segments of vested interest, sir. So no, and a dear way there's a can is Susani account. You see, Krobodi said that Buziak sorry Kasa or Parliament or heard any more Sacrobot front bench. Ozegovi, a Samuel Kenyan no crepas yamfa. So no. Also onimsa somehow can and no press yamfa. This the person has hit the nail right on the head. Sa and nipa su ne bino akoye.
Desi ousu wasa me na enemi gina so e de board aka ni nyina atofa. Ofada nyame adomo a obeba na ebe wie we no. Afei ye wie a akwan ene ye transport system in Ghana. Yebedi hu nkomo. Mining of our natural resources. Yo, yehwe akwan ene ye transport system we are. Mining of our natural resources and the protection of the environment. Mining of our natural resources and the protection of our environment. And no, Yabakan and no wasem, at least. Now, we know yetimi yefsa we na roads and transport. Mining of the natural resources and the protection of the environment. Yetimi we are not just we planning phase. Now, ya say, ye free hano, a hen yeko. And how do we get to where we want to go to?
The back home, a person called the become a housing.
Okay.
Yeah, your housing situation.
Of alpha housing, we are home. Yeah, there you back home. Education. What kind of education do we want?
Me kind paper be. Your friend in the future of employment. The future of employment. Na any kankeke. There will be chere maneno. You have to project say in the next 10-20 years. Dear nimdie na nkoda ni behia to face the worlds that they are going to go into. The future of employment. Because at the old chere na the addition osu na de koye den. So no. Enti e was so ultimate project say in this modern world, ICT technology, maths and science, you know, a day ne was say ye chere. Nkoda me wo big ayibi with the fee. National American Institute in the produce National Teachers and Education something really tight institution called. But a plan of learning to 2050. Now the details of woman, yeah, so we have to think through. Say, what kind of a world? And na ya mofra no ebe confront. And na nimdie be na wo so omunya from now to be able to confront that world. Call me and BBC born before computer. Was school no. A bisa and cross your mind that. Ya dream that. What was slide rule? What was slide rule? But that time no. Maybe no more dream different things. Until I was say yes so. I bear for kwanya ewiase kono. And no was say nkodano ye de chiro. So it's important what you teach your children and how you teach your children to face the future is what education is about. Me church rodina we de wama majumo.
Ejuma pa na me ama. Ejuma pa because on say offer. My dream no nkyere me say Debia politics choka so mfia baby e gina no an e gina no eno na beboa ma dwen nkyere me say
be de be say make e binum na me be ko hu ntokwa. You see koka no you don't even score points. You are talking past each other.
So obi apese yetenka
but see a discuss policy. Na ye die nyina ye timi twe oman na dwene eba se okay policies ankrofo e ka ho asebi die hi na beboaye we are shaping the minds of the nation through policy discussion. Eba ma your politics na ye easier. So no. But to say ena me na me see way ena nyaw na see ye ena ye dey enkwan ye dey na ye dey. So no. So I am all for me I don't do a lot of radio.
Pa me aseminim nkomo ya bod be mvie mienu ko miensa so ni afira abiriwa ipoma kwam.
I don't do a lot of radio because frankly I'm being honest. Koka no dos. Ne yentimi enyi koka na mfiri ho ambre nase tememufo mu ntie e wo se obi timi tiew na okoda no sumiesu na odwene asem a oteye no na epusu no ekwan bi so na obesori anopa na ane amana ye nipa foforo. That is the essence of this game. On tiasembi no fankoda no sumiesu no enso no dae ana onwinwine ho se de beya obesori anopa no na oye nipa foforo adwene sakra bia bem na fe wate ase se eni se meto me ball agu gotem bio esa se no hu sunsanso no ebeka me ankasa sa wo koso saa eno ene beboa ye politics enti me wo ya radio p wo ho minim se radio for bebre ni me won tokwapa nanso
ombeti ase
also omti ase
also omti ase. Do you ever forget?
Do I ever forget? I didn't know.
Debbie, because enkomo amini uboy 1400 1800 okay 1932 okay 2021 okay asma wo kan nyina so yade a on kan free book no da wani but kan nyina free team wa hwe se hakro wa Israel ni no se afan say
Talal
wa hwe ade nyama wo nyina gu team wo rate mi fi asem
ebi o ha mi refi
the video refi onye wa jin so be kan tra je se wo na fi Torino of I da se anyume
Miss with the moon with tea for a simple say, Womunya daje, it me. But what for Michelle was say, Busumi Biado.
You be your back.
Remember, why?
Matiofa.
And say a bit discuss policies near or mining kind chrono qua de Bija Huadaji.
Okay. Of Ade Bakusa Unya Quina, ja. What you do now, Jim from Adrian, one say, go for to say, Baya, Ghana capital. Yenny Frakra. Never boy and party, and also, you know, a argument that is been around for a long time.
Minim sa wo kai papa Professor Banim. Onona, he's an expert on demarcations in Ghana, boundary demarcations in Ghana. In fact, Onona year the major work on Oti in 1971. Mekaisa he was commissioned, was asked quietly by Dr. Kwame Safuodu to a good work on Oti. In one of his papers, his argument was shifting the capital out of Accra because of the nature of Accra. So no. But the question was where to? So no. And what would it mean for Accra and the ethnic politics? One way we should do it is Accra can be your commercial capital.
Okay.
But administrative capital, we can shift it. So it also means to say you are shifting to a greenfield Washington DC. When Americans were trying to decide where the capital was going to be, Nanka Nkrofo Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and no. Penyufo decided, say, it must be Petem Greenfield. That's how they chose Washington, D.C. And if you fly over Washington, D.C., Ubo said this is a master plan and a DAFO. Right?
Omunya kwan ye
no paper so. And son ye shisha wofem. Say you see a move capital there. It should be a place a petem ye shisha ye designing the whole capital on paper. And sana. But any say a rush. In my judgment, this could take us 20 to 50 years. Because it's a lot of planning. It's going to involve a lot of money. So, na cathedral cry is in a home cook. So, no. Yesi a center here a war children's park or
theater, national
theater. A home so who did international press one where and also who did it. To say no, who could see new national capital. We have to go through the argument. Margaret Thatcher, or say you have to win the argument before you win the vote. Some papa, but any penny na be jipene. And the politics a best sorry who say now what they call him for.
And why?
Yes. So it's going to take a lot of thinking and a lot of planning in order to get it. Me and prepare. We can do it gradually. So we can say, yeah, they call
Kintampo.
Nkrofo say Kintampo is the center of Ghana, which is not true. We are coordinates now, and Kintampo is to the right of Kintampo. Boabin Fiema, Pinihini area, ho baby sir. It can't be said. The bet me I can say this is a 20-year development program. Yeah, kakra. But in the meantime, no, yempne emma yentonton sa no near there. You embargo, and over the next 20 years, no, you can develop the plan. But there must be a master plan and this national discussion to establish, say, ampa. I will say you free her near the Koha. Colonial times in the day, na kwesi broni, martial law, or can I know ye?
The honors open obey.
Aye, one free Gambaga Abatamali say. Literally overnight. I take a decision ya ko. Obi ani hu asem ka. Ye free Cabo Coast na Cape Coast aba Accra. Obi ani hu asem ka. Say die free press obi a wo hu asem ka. social media be ya ultimate control media space. We need a lot of arguments, so we have to be careful and think through this one with diligence. Send ye be ya, ye nyina ye betiase, or majority betiase. Na buto ye mu be beba, nantiase aye juma ansana. Ye be quiet.
I was for Honorable Boache Ejako na nwumre meneno etwetwen sa enkomo yi wa hye bosse nyame de nkwane ahoden dom no ampani se misua mi yare ne owu enti se nyame de ne nkwa eche no nkoa na ahoden wo hode a bosumi bi obeba ye ba fa topic baako na yabo eho enkomo enwumre yi megina mu nyina na mu na mada Honorable Boache Ejako ase ewo bra wanya ede amaye ne atwetwe Ghana eho enkomo sa na megina mu nyina na mu mada Izekodro Patricia Sefa Fisher Emmanuel Etiemo Prince Bafo Asamwa Samuel Apia and Elizabeth Echin and Mickey Darling Asie and our name is special producers Otamechi Emma Yadesa Jumedi Ebremo se nyame adomo a ye no ofade edie ye wono bosome ye wono bosome ntem minim se nyame susu nti ye besan ehia bio efrem na ya okese obetimi afrem de cardinal de ready asomdwe eja mu nyina makramo